Hi, in this video I'll show you how you can create a realistic shadow for a photo or an object in your photo using Canva. So I have this transparent picture of a man sitting and pondering about something, but this picture is basically transparent, so it's going to be a lot easier to create shadow using Canva. If you have a, let's say, a real photo, for example, like this one, and you want to add some strong shadow, then you have to use the AI tool. Like you have to go to the edit section, and then you want to visit magic edit, and then you can describe that you want to add some shadow to this picture, for example. So let me just give you a quick example. Usually this is not going to give you the best result because AI is often not the best way to create shadow, but yeah, if you are interested, this is how you can do it. Alright, those are some ideas that AI come up with. It's not perfect, and this is hit or miss. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. But yeah, that's the reality of using AI to create shadow, and that's why I personally do not use this method. Instead, we can create our own shadow realistically using a built-in tool in Canva. So first, you have to select on the picture that you want to add shadow, and go to the edit menu. Scroll down and you want to navigate to the effects section, and then here on the shadow option you want to open it, and there are many shadow styles that you can select, but I think I want to add some shadow behind this man, and I'm going to click backdrop. Okay, so before we move on, there is one thing that you need to understand. Shadow is working in relation with lighting. If you see this man, you see that the lighting is probably coming from the left side, slightly to the top of the left side of this picture. You can see there is a shiny area on this part, meaning the shadow has to be on the right area. And it's very important for the placement of the shadow to make it realistic. You don't want to put the shadow in the same direction as the lighting. That's something that you don't want to do. So anyway, you want to select the direction. The direction is going to be on the right side. I guess this is okay, but that, and intensity is how black the shadow is. You can make it very black, you can make it not very black, like this one, and also you can make the shadow blur to make it a bit more realistic, but don't do it too much. There is a fine amount that you have to find yourself. I think around this part is pretty good. Yeah, so you can see that the image now is actually shrinking a bit, but that's okay. We can always resize this picture later. And yeah, now we have created a simple shadow for this man. It's probably needs some work, but I think that is good enough. Okay, that was for the method number 2. I have another method that probably a bit less realistic, but may be useful in some cases, especially if you have a flat vertical background of the object. So let me go back and remove the shadow. Okay, let's resize this man and put it back in the middle. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click and click copy, right click again, click paste. Now we have the duplicate. Let's send this picture to the back, and we want to create a shadow that is located on the right side. Now let's go to edit, and on the effects section select duotone, select custom, highlights, I'm going to make sure it's black, and shadow is also black, and make sure the intensity is also 100%. Now we want to reduce the transparency to, I guess, around 50%, 50 to 60%. Again, the number is flexible. You don't always have to follow this video. You can select your own parameter. Let's go back, and now let's go to blur, and we want to select whole image, and I'm going to add intensity to maybe around 20%, and let's go back, and now we have the shadow. Now again, depending on the location of this man and where the light is coming, you want to select the most appropriate location for the shadow. So the shadow is usually can be smaller, or it can also bigger than the actual object, which in this case is how I'm going to add shadow to it. So it's a bit bigger than the actual person, and I think it looks great. This is especially useful if the background is just like a wall vertical object that is going to make the shadow look more realistic. But anyway, that's basically it. That's how you can add shadows in Canva. There are multiple ways, and I hope one of them you find to be helpful.